The White Heather Club was a cringe-worthy Highland dance program broadcast in the 1960s. Gay young men pranced around in their kilts courting Scottish gels who all looked like Mary Marquis. Look her up. In the years before the 2014 referendum, Unionists never tired of warning Scots that independence would mean the loss of that great UK institution, the BBC. All that we in poor Scotland would be able to afford would be wall-to-wall White Heather Club, interspersed with speeches from Alex Salmond. You can see where I am going with this, can't you? The former BBC Director General, John Burt, said that Scots might not be able to watch the BBC at all. Well, as it turns out, perhaps no one will. At the weekend, No 10 declared war on the BBC, saying that time's up for the licence fee. "We're going to whack them," said a government source, quoted in the Sunday Times. "Probably been watching too many episodes of The Sopranos." The future is subscription. People won't pay a video poll tax in the age of Netflix, we're told. The BBC should sink or swim in the market, probably the former. First casualties will be local and regional services. We're assured that this has nothing whatever to do with Andrew Neil's lecture on the PM's integrity when he refused to appear on his show during the general election campaign. Now, it's not yet clear that the government will get away with this. Many Tory MPs remain friends of the BEB, including, it appears, Boris Johnson himself, who is now, reportedly, fighting a rearguard action against his own government. Contrariwise, there are many independence supporters who hate the UN BBC so much they are egging Mr. Johnson on. There is a broad coalition of contempt for the BBC. This extends from most Labour Party members, who took to social media to condemn Laura Queensberg for being a Tory spokesperson, to the Daily Telegraph, which believes the BBC is owned by Gina Miller and the People's Vote campaign. It was ever thus. The BBC always gets both ideological barrels. But the point is that all this makes a nonsense of the claim that only by remaining in the UK could Scots still tune into David Attenborough. He's all over Netflix anyway. And the curious thing is that now there actually is a Scottish dedicated TV channel that is not filled with mawkish sentimentality and tartan kitsch. Most of the Scottish, why doesn't it have a proper name? Programming is rather good. Documentaries like Poverty Safari presented by the rapper Loki, for example, something the UK BBC would never have done. And there's quality. The drama Guilt was as good as anything on Netflix. Scotland has a unique character that is well suited to sardonic noir. The BBC is only the latest example of Scotland potentially losing great British institutions that were supposedly threatened only if we voted yes. For more on this story, visit the news article link.